Hello trans fans, this is my first YouTube video on Well That's Just Prime Transformers reviews. This channel will focus on reviews of Optimus Prime throughout the years. So which better toy to start off with than G1 Optimus Prime. This year is the 15th anniversary edition, one of the first reissues made kind of in the modern era. There were a few reissues in the 80s. Goodbye Convoy, when they discontinued the mold. Here's the box. See the 15 on the sticker there. This is filled with a junker here from the flea market, but as we'll see, this is such a great toy. Like, a junker is still a lot of fun and a really good piece to have. Here you'll see the back with, I'm not sure if the box art was different in Japan at the time. I'm kind of leaning towards no, but still a great piece. So here's our guy. So as you can see, he rolls kind of articulated like a real life truck. I was kind of too cool for stickers at the time, so I took off the rub sign there. Of course, we know he's an Autobot. He's got the huge Auto brand on his beautiful sticker there. That's factory applied. We have, of course, the trailer detaches, and then it can kind of, I don't know if trucks do this in real life, probably. You know, so it doesn't fall down. Now we have the cab. Peter built back before you needed a license for everything. I mean, look at how shiny that is. It looks great on the shelf. Cool thing about this piece is that I had gone in the aftermarket and I got a little Dianot or an Inchman, and he fits right in there. Left or right side, I don't know what side they drive on in Japan, but you can see him in the little window driving his truck. So he's kind of cool for scale. Just see how big. He's supposed to have these magnetic feet, so he stands up on metal. It's kind of a, you know, real life truck scale. So now we start the transformation or conversion, as Hasbro's lawyers would like us to start calling it. You know, it's pretty intuitive there. One thing that, though, you'll notice is immediately missing is his hands. There is a degree of parts forming with Convoy here, Optimus Prime. These hands were remolded to make holding his gun a little bit easier. You know, so they have a 5mm peg and are then compatible with a lot of the different weapons throughout the years. Here you can see the you know, the magnet kind of barely works. It's about 30 years old, probably, on the Dianot, one of my rarest pieces. And you know, also his spring is kind of giving out, but he's still, for a toy in the 80s, he's got an amazing range of articulation here. He's got the elbows and shoulders, he's got legs, he's got knees. He can do kind of some cool poses. Now we'll get to the accessories later, mainly because they're stored in the trailer. One thing, though, I did want to talk about with robot mode before we get to the trailer is this piece. Now this is from some sort of a Hot Rod and Cyclonus set, Battle for in Space or something, Battle for Cybertron. And I've done the optional step of, you know, putting it on a dollar store chain. But this piece was not actually included in this reissue. It was something called New Year's Convoy in 2002, and it was made to be compatible with you know, Optimus Prime right there fit in his chest. So here's the die-cast matrix, okay? And, you know, this is kind of cool in that, you know, they added this functionality to the toy after the fact, so now you see the matrix in his chest. And there you go with that accessory. Now let's talk about the trailer here. All right, so here's the trailer. The cool thing about the Japanese reissues is that they keep the springs. So there you see a roller spring out. It's quite a high-powered spring. You know, so Prowl here is quite a bit heavier, die-cast. You know, slides right back. Okay, you're under arrest. So that's pretty cool. Also on the spring-loaded front, he's got this missile launcher, kind of turret. So the very rarely seen battle mode. I guess it might be facing this way. Okay, Optimus Prime trailers battle mode. Here's the base mode, gets a little bit more screen time, but still not much. It's got these factory applied stickers. You know, I've totally changed my tune on the stickers. I love them. I really wish I had a set from Repo Labels. He's got stickers that one says go on his ramp there. He has stickers like, you know, they're looking at the solar system on a TV screen. And one thing I'm fiddling with here is his gun. Has storage. He also has storage here too. There's a piece that I lost, the kind of gas. You know, it's like you're gonna put gas in your car. He has something like that, you know, holds in your hand, or, you know, it's like kind of a minor piece. Here we see that the gun fits both Roller and Optimus Prime. His ion blaster, I think that was remolded too to be maybe a little bit longer. I think maybe on the original Prime he held it at like an awkward angle, but of course I've never handled an original with all the accessories, so I can't really tell you. It's still kind of awkwardly fit in there, but you know, don't let that distract you from what a guy, what a commanding presence here. All right, so of course here we see Roller, how Roller plugs in. He's got those two pegs. Roller, of course, can have the gun shoot around. This is a silver Roller. You know, the original American Prime was blue, so it's always a debate, you know, whether or not you want to be toy accurate, comic accurate, or cartoon accurate, you know. But here, I'm so excited to talk about this, as you see the base come alive with the Dionot. Okay, and there we see one of the missiles there on accident. These things are quite powerful. They'll shoot way across the room. Don't lose them. He came with a few. These are either black or silver, depending on the reissue. So here in the turret, we can fit the Dionot. Okay, now he can shoot around, aim this thing, or do his, oh, it's like Optimus Prime, he's sick. And he's got a repair bay. He can do it like that. This is like, you know, kind of the same deal here, except just like kind of standing up. You see this in other mecha, kind of a whole support bay, you know, as if it's like a military or hangar or something like that. So this guy, of course, he can't just merely sit in the turret. He's got a seat right here. He's got a seat right here. I really wish they had reissued these Dionauts. They're a lot of fun. They really make the G1 toys come alive. You know, eventually we'll talk more about Diaclone, but if you can find one of these or even they make them on Shapeways. You can get one 3D printed without the magnet feet. Totally worth it, man. I mean, especially for Optimus Prime. I kind of feel bad for these kids in the 80s with all these seats and no one to, you know, clearly it's made for something. They would have had no way to really know about Diaclone. So here we see him in roller. Blast off. You know, so clearly, though, in the terms of Diaclone Convoy or Battle Convoy, he's identical except for the Autobot logo on the front, basically. I think maybe it says Diaclone, something like that, on the trailer. Anyway, he's got spots for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8 of these guys, because of course all the Transformers are instead mecha, piloted mecha in Diaclone. So he really is like, you know, the flagship piece of that line. If you have about 8 Autobot cars, and let's transform him just for scale, you know, then you would have, you know, enough Dionauts to populate this base and go after whoever they are that they're fighting. That I think bug guys. So here's Prowl and Optimus Prime. Okay, so there's some scale there for you, and if you're interested in scale, we can just do a real quick transformation here. I'm gonna leave the Dionaut in there for right now because he's got the Matrix in his chest, of course. He can still transform with the Matrix in his chest, which is kind of cool. Before I got that piece, I would put his hands kind of in his chest in truck mode, and I'm sure a lot of people have done that. Kind of, it works out fine. So here's Optimus Prime, and this is for scale. Then we have the War for Cybertron, Optimus Prime. So if I were to transform this guy, it's a bit more complicated. The robot mode is way taller, but as you can see, the trailer is kind of gimpy. And, you know, that's kind of depressing. You know, and then his trailer has got some of the same gimmicks, but none of the spring-loaded stuff. So, again, that's kind of sad. You know, but trailer's not the main deal. The robot here, we'll talk about him eventually, is really cool. And, yeah, so that about wraps it up for G1 Optimus Prime. You know, this was my very first video, so you can excuse some of the rough edges. We're only going to get better about this, and I got some really cool pieces that I'm really excited to talk about. All right, so I'll see you later. Again, this is Well, That's Just Prime Transformer Reviews. Bye.